This Good Morning Northwest morning spread is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is 6:53, time to get you ready to take on your Thursday with the morning sprint. Sydney Charles breaking down the latest recovery efforts in Iowa where tornadoes killed at least 5 people. We're expecting another cloudy day. Mark has your forecast to find out what else you can expect. But first, we start with breaking news of a shooting in west central Spokane. Natalie Grant near North Wall and West Garland. Natalie?
Right now we're on the intersection of Garland and Post, where you can see behind me quite a few police cars are still on scene here. The intersection on Garland between Post and Wall is still closed off this morning. Now, we haven't had an update from police quite yet, but we did talk to a witness who saw this whole event unfold. Said he was walking his dog around 5:30 this morning when he saw a car pull up to another car and shoot a man who got out of that car. He then said he saw the man who fired the shots get out and start performing CPR. Now, we don't have any information as far as what led up to this shooting or the condition of any of these people. We will definitely bring you updates throughout the morning, both on air and online at KXLY.com.
The latest hearing in the Brian Kohberger case happening this afternoon. The defense will try to compel the state to hand over important evidence in the case. And just in, ABC News sources say police will call a Moscow police detective today to the stand, and you will be able to hear and see that. We will stream it live at 2:30 this afternoon on KXLY Plus and KXLY.com. A convicted felon behind bars in connection to a robbery at a South Hill business last month. Police say 52-year-old Dustin McElfish walked into a business, demanded money. Police say he approached an employee with his hand in his pocket, implying he had a gun. The employee gave him an undisclosed amount of money. McElfish left the store. A month later, police identified him through tips from the community. McElfish now faces first-degree armed robbery charges. The gun found at Kellogg High School was used in a robbery in Missoula. That's according to the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office. A teacher picking up trash Tuesday found the gun in a creek. Authorities believe the gun was used by this man during a robbery last Thursday. That person's on the run, is said to be driving a silver SUV, the one you see on your screen. If you see him or that vehicle, call the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office. We have new information on this fire just outside of St. Mary's. The Idaho State Fire Marshal's Office says a washing machine caused the fire that burned down Big Eddie's Bar and Grill last week. The new owner of Big Eddie's had just reopened the building a week before the fire.
As we look at our first alert weather for this Thursday, it's a cool but not cold start. 42 into Deer Park, 45 into Liberty Lake. We're going to see a continuation of increased clouds today, some sun breaks, and then a chance of showers really popping up later on today, but north of Spokane. Our high is going to be 63. 69 is a normal high this time of year, so there you go.
In our For the People coverage this November, voters will decide whether to repeal or maintain a capital gains tax in Washington. As it stands today, there's a 7% tax on bonds, stocks, and investments for Washingtonians earning more than $250,000 in capital gains each year. That went into effect in 2022, and that money is meant to be allocated for child care and education. Some daycare workers and parents worry that if this tax is repealed, they could lose out on major child care funding in the future. While lawmakers and Washingtonians against the tax believe it is not a stable enough source of income to balance the state's budget. Today, registered Democrats and unaffiliated voters are invited to the Kootenai County Fairgrounds for the Democratic Presidential Caucus. It's happening tonight from 5 to 8. Here, voters will decide who Idaho will support for the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. Days before 106,000 Blue Cross policyholders were set to lose their coverage at Multicare, the two sides come to an agreement on a contract extension. Contract negotiations have been taking place for months. Multicare was fighting to get Primera to reimburse them at a rate that accounted for soaring inflation. Primera wanted to ensure their members could still access affordable care. Both sides came to an agreement 10 days before the contract was set to expire.
And the nation's heartland is bracing for more severe weather as we approach the busy Memorial Day weekend. Communities in Iowa are recovering from devastating tornadoes that ripped through small towns. At least 5 people were killed. From above, the tornado's path is clear in a trail of debris. Last night, Iowa State Patrol confirming at least 35 people were hurt in Greenfield during the tornadoes, adding that because the damage is still being assessed, that number could grow. Recovery efforts are underway. FEMA will be on the ground today to provide assistance. The White House says it is ready to provide support as needed.
Today kicks off the busy Memorial Day travel period. TSA projects it'll screen more than 34,000 travelers at Spokane International Airport starting today through May 28th. Today will be the busiest with more than 6,700 people expected to fly. A full breakdown of Memorial Day travel tips coming up next on Good Morning America. We'll take a break and check in with weather one more time.